Good morning, little church. So, I don't know what your favorite time of the year is. I think, Jeff, isn't it Christmas for you? Yeah, for Jeff, it's Christmas. But today I get to put on my treasurer hat. I'm actually the treasurer of our church. And when you're the treasurer, your favorite time of the year is right now because our fiscal year ends in June and we start a new fiscal year in July. And so we are now entering into that new fiscal year. And I get the pleasure of coming up here and giving you guys all a status as to where we are financially, what is going on with our new budget, and how you get to participate in voting for that new budget. So I want to go through a couple different things to give you an idea of where we are at the church. And always, if you have questions, you can always come up and ask me afterwards. But so first of all, where we are as far as cash in the bank, we have a general fund account, and we have about $62,000 in there right now, which honestly is really only about a month worth of our operating expenditures. So we do like to see that higher. We ideally would love to see that about 3 months of time. So that's one area that we do want to improve on. However, our building fund, which is a separate account, which a lot of you have been graciously giving to, our building fund has almost $300,000 into it, which is going to be the projects that we've been doing. And all of you guys with your giving has just been amazing with that. We've, so we now have a total commitment in pledges from all of you of $383,000, of which we have already collected $312,000, which is just awesome. So we are getting started on some of those big projects like Jeff and Patty's house that we'll be doing as we come up in this next year. As far as last year goes, we did go slightly over our budget than we mostly do. We did go over a little bit, but that was because we saw our giving doing really good from all of you. And so we invested in some things. We invested in a brand new soundboard back there, so worship sounds better than it's ever sounded. We did that. And then in addition to that, we also have paid off our line of credit. So you guys know we as a church are completely debt-free on our properties and everything. Yeah, it's a huge pleasure to be able to say that in this time, to say that everything's been paid off. Our mortgages on this property, everything's been paid off. So we are completely debt-free. And then also we did, just so you guys know, maybe some of you have noticed this, but we put a lot in the last several months also in some safety areas as far as maintenance around the church. So for example, we painted a white line along all the curbs in our church to just make sure people can step off and see where the step is there. We improved the steps that go up to the upper room, and we also made that a little bit more solid. We fixed the fence and the gate out here, and then we also put in all new tile, the ones that were broken in the steps that come from the foyer out here, because I think you guys saw the black tape that I put on there to try to keep it safe. Anyway, we have fixed all that. So we've invested quite a bit into all of that. When it comes to this new year, and I think, go ahead and put that up there, Matt. So this is our budget for the new year. And it's 5.5%, so the budget for this coming year, starting actually this month, is $735,000. It's a 5.5% increase over our budget from last year, and that tracks pretty much what we've been doing in the last few years. We've been seeing about a 5 to 6% increase over the different time period. When you look at the makeup of that budget, again, it's pretty standard with what we've been doing, but you can see obviously personnel expenses, which is everything, benefits and everything for the staff as far as personnel goes. That's always the largest chunk within the church. And then you can see that we have, for example, total ministry expenses of 11%. That's in addition to everything else. That's all of our ministries, like our youth ministry, children's ministry, women's ministry, men's ministry. That's what that includes. 16% is overhead, and then also 5%, which is what we track on purpose as far as how much we actually give for missionary things. Like we have a number of different missionaries that are both local and international, so that includes all the different support with that. So that's where we're sitting with this new budget. And Some of you might not know this, but we're actually a congregational church. What that means is that the authority and the voting of things like for the elders and for the finances actually sits in the hands of the congregation, sits in the hands of all of you as the members who are part of that congregation. If you're an official member of our church, and that means you've gone through our membership class, you're going to be getting from me, it'll be sent out actually from an elders@lagunaefc.org email. You'll be getting by tomorrow morning the actual full budget. And what we need to do is have you approve that budget. You can disapprove the budget, but we hope you approve it. To have you actually approve that new budget. And you will be able to see a link on there where you can actually vote. And you can say, okay, I'm going to vote for the budget to approve it or not. And we're hoping to have that all those votes in by the end of Thursday, which is July 31st. So we can actually start implementing this new budget. So I know that was really exciting for all of you. But if you have any questions about any of this, please, you can ask me, you can ask Jeff, you can ask Steve, but any more details, and we'll, again, send out a lot more detail than just this to those who are going to be voting in this coming week with that. So there you go. Anyway, thank you. See, that was what I really love to do every year. And now I can take off my treasurer hat, put on my pastor's hat.